plaintiff on the lines below. To plaintiff Robbie Parker, A, defamation/slander damages past and future, $60 million. B, emotional distress damages past and future, $60 million. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff Robert Parker and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B, total $120 million, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff David Wheeler, A, defamation/slander damages past and future, $25 million. B, emotional distress damages past and future, $30 million. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff David Wheeler and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B, $55 million, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff Francine Wheeler, A, defamation/slander damages past and future, $24 million. B, emotional distress damages past and future, $30 million. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff Francine Wheeler and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B, total $54 million, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff Jacqueline Barden, A, defamation/slander damages past and future, $10 million. B, emotional distress damages past and future, $18,800,000. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff Jacqueline Barden and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B, $28,800,000, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff Mark Barden, A, defamation/slander damages past and future, $25 million. B, emotional distress damages past and future, $32,600,000. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff Mark Barden and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B, $57,600,000, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff Nicole Hockley, A, defamation/slander damages past and future, $32 million. B, emotional distress damages past and future, $41,600,000. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff Nicole Hockley and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B, $73,600,000, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff Ian Hockley, A, defamation/slander damages past and future, $38 million. B, emotional distress damages past and future, $43,600,000. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff Ian Hockley and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B, $81,600,000, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff Jennifer Hensel, A, defamation/slander damages past and future, $21 million. B, emotional distress damages past and future, $31 million. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff Jennifer Hensel and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B, $52 million, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff Donna Soto, A, defamation/slander damages past and future, $18 million. B, emotional distress damages past and future, $30 million. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff Donna Soto and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B, $48 million, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff Carly Soto Parisi, A, defamation/slander damages past and future, $30 million. B, emotional distress damages past and future, $36 million. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff Carly Soto Parisi and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems at line A and line B, $66 million, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff Carlos Matthew Soto, A, defamation/slander damages, past and future, $18,600,000. B, emotional distress damages, past and future, $39 million. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff Carlos Matthew Soto and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems, add line A and line B, $57,600,000, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff Jillian Soto Marino. A, defamation/slander damages, past and future, $30 million. B, emotional distress damages, past and future, $38,800,000. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff Jillian Soto Marino and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems, add line A and line B, $68,800,000, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff William Aldenberg. Defamation/slander damages, past and future, $45 million. B, emotional distress damages, past and future, $45 million. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff William Aldenberg and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems, add line A and line B, $90 million, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff Erica Lafferty. A, defamation/slander damages, past and future, $18 million. B, emotional distress damages, past and future, $58 million. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff Erica Lafferty and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems, add line A and line B, $76 million, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff William Sherlach. A, defamation/slander damages, past and future, $9 million. B, emotional distress damages, past and future, $27 million. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff William Sherlach and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems, add line A and line B, $36 million, initialed by juror number 1. Number 2, award of attorney's fees and costs. Instructions, check yes or no. If you check yes, the judge will determine the amount due to the plaintiff for reasonable attorney's fees and costs, and will then award the plaintiffs that amount at a later date. If you check no, the judge will award $1 to the plaintiffs for their attorney's fees and costs. We, the jury, find that the standard charge for the assessment of attorney's fees and costs have been met. Yes, it's checked. Reasonable attorney's fees and costs to be awarded by the judge at a later date. Initialed by juror number 1. And the last page is the four-person juror number 1 signature in the date of 10/12/2022, also initialed by juror number 1.
The verdict may be accepted and recorded.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, please listen to your verdict as it has been accepted and recorded.
Do you need a minute?
No. All right. Verdict. We, the jury, have reached our verdict as to damages in this case. We award damages to each plaintiff and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems, LLC as follows. Number 1, compensatory damages. Instructions. Fill in both numbers for each plaintiff, then go to section 2. Please enter your damages assessments for each plaintiff.
You can just see the emotion on the faces of those victims' families from the Sandy Hook shooting there as they were awarded millions upon millions in the defamation trial against Alex Jones there in Connecticut. Certainly a lot of emotion on those families there.
Initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff David Wheeler. A, defamation/slander damages, past and future, $25 million. B,
we're still tallying up this the amount Alex Jones is being ordered to pay by this juror as they just reach this verdict on this Wednesday afternoon here in Connecticut. You can just see a lot of tears, hands going to faces as these families are on hand for this verdict to be read in Connecticut. Of course, Alex Jones there in this, the far-right talk show host, Alex Jones, ordered to pay those 8 families in this, of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting victims, and one first responder. It was a 17-hour deliberation as they were going into the serious harm inflicted by this conspiracy theorist there. It's over $700 million ordered to pay to these various families in this Sandy Hook shooting that happened and the defamation trial that is ongoing. I want to continue to listen in here on Live Now from Fox, as it's just a massive number here in this Connecticut court as the jury ordered Alex Jones to pay it in this defamation trial.
$25 million. B, emotional distress damages, past and future, $32,600,000. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff Mark Barton and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems, add line A and line B, $57,600,000, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff Nicole Hockley, A, defamation / slander damages, past and future, $32 million. B, emotional distress damages, past and future, $41,600,000. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff Nicole Hockley and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems, add line A and line B, $73,600,000, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff Ian Hockley, A, defamation / slander damages, past and future, $38 million. B, emotional distress damages, past and future, $43,600,000.
You're continuing to hear some of procedures in this courtroom there in Waterbury, Connecticut, as they have reached the verdict there in this Alex Jones defamation trial. Jones and his company were found liable for damages last year. The 6-person jury tasked with determining how much the InfoWars show host should pay those 15 plaintiffs, including victims, families, and an FBI agent, for calling that 2012 massacre a hoax. The jury is instructed to arrive at 2 compensatory damage amounts per plaintiff, one sum for defamation damage and another for emotional distress damages. Jurors will also decide whether Jones should pay punitive damage. The judge should decide the amounts later. Each compensatory damage amount has to be at least $1, but certainly much more than that as we're hearing this verdict coming in right now. But there is no cap. Right now, we've heard over $700 million ordered to pay Alex Jones in this defamation trial. The plaintiff's lawyers have suggested total damages could be in the hundreds, and they were certainly right. Jones has bashed the trial as, quote, a kangaroo court, described it as an affront to free speech rights, and called the judge a, quote, tyrant. Of course, we are following this story here on Live Now from Fox, and you can just see the emotion, a lot of bent over, some elbows there on their knees of these families in these few seats here in the courtroom, and you can see just wiping away tears, $700 million over that amount in this defamation trial, in those compensatory damages to the victim's family and that one FBI agent for this 2012 massacre, as he called it, a hoax on his InfoWar shows there. So Alex Jones can't really see him in the courtroom today, but you can see the families and the judge there as they continue on this procedure. I want to listen in one more time, just as this is a monumental moment for those families of the Sandy Hook shooting there, of those kids that lost their lives back in 2012. So let's listen in again here on Live Now from Fox.
And against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems, add line A and line B, $68,800,000, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff William Aldenberg, A, defamation / slander damages, past and future, $45 million. B, emotional distress damages, past and future, $45 million. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff William Aldenberg and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems, add line A and line B, $90 million, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff Erica Lafferty, A, defamation / slander damages, past and future, $18 million. B, emotional distress damages, past and future, $58 million. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff Erica Lafferty and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems, add line A and line B, $76 million, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff William Sherlock, A, defamation/slander damages, past and future, $9 million. B, emotional distress damages, past and future, $27 million. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff William Sherlock and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems, add line A and line B, $36 million, initialed by juror number 1. Roman numeral 2, award of attorney's fees and costs. Instructions. You check yes or no. If you check yes, the judge will determine the amount due to the plaintiffs for reasonable attorney's fees and costs and will then award the plaintiffs that amount at a later date. If you check no, the judge will award $1 to the plaintiffs for their attorney's fees and costs. We, the jury, find that the standard charge for the assessment of attorney's fees and costs has been met. Yes is checked. Reasonable attorney's fees and costs to be awarded by the judge at a later date. Initialed by juror number 1. The last page is juror number 1's signature and the date 10/12/2022, and it is also initialed by juror number 1. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, do you all agree that this is your verdict?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Anything further, counsel, before I discharge the jury?
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
All right. Now, as you will recall, when we started the case, I read some preliminary instructions to you, and I now have a brief, and I promise you, brief statement to read to you regarding post-verdict communications. You've now concluded your service as jurors, and jurors often ask whether they can discuss their jury experience with others. Under our law, that decision remains solely with each one of you. If you wish to discuss your jury service with others when you're asked about it, or even if you're not asked about it, you may do so. On the other hand, if you choose not to discuss your jury service with others, you may refuse to do so. The choice is yours. It is your right to decide whether to speak or not speak about your experience. Now, you may be contacted by members of the media seeking comment from you about your experience in this case. You are under no obligation to speak to the media, nor do you need to provide any explanation for not doing so. As you know, highly publicized trials may arouse strong reactions in the public. For this reason and others, you may wish not to publicize your service as a juror. That decision is entirely your own. Now I can deviate from the script. On a personal note, I would like to thank you all for your service and your dedication in serving on this jury, for taking time out of your busy lives. I hope that you found the experience a rewarding one, and I thank you for your service on behalf of the parties, the lawyer, and the court. You are hereby formally discharged from your service as jurors. Thank you again. All right, we are adjourned.
You just saw there as the jury was ordered to pay those amounts there to Alex Jones after this defamation trial here on Live Now from Fox. We're following this as closely as we can as you continue on here on this Wednesday as he's ordered to pay over $800 million. We're still getting an exact count just based on the amount of numbers they were throwing out there as the verdict was being read there by the judge there in this Connecticut courtroom. Of course, we were following this here on Live Now from Fox. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want to rewind a little bit and go back out there to show you some of the emotion on the faces of these families as this verdict was read. Of course, this is just a replay of it a little bit ago, and I won't bring up the audio, but I want to take you back out as the verdict is initially being read in this Connecticut courtroom. You can see the families there watching and waiting this verdict, and just the emotion on their face after Alex Jones and the InfoWars host ordered to pay millions upon millions in this defamation trial there in Connecticut. Of course, they reached that verdict, and it was some $800 million The first few were just 60 million, and the next one 60 million, and then another 120 million, and then 25 million more. Jones and his company were found liable for damages last year. That 6-person jury tasked with determining how much that InfoWars host should pay to 15 plaintiffs, including the victims' families that you see on the screen right now, wiping away tears as they listened to this verdict in this Connecticut courtroom. Certainly an emotional day for a lot of them as they continue to mourn the loss of their child, but also just hear that being said over and over on the internet, but now 800 million there to this trial. We're also hearing now, live raw and unfiltered outside the courtroom. Here is what I believe is the defense attorney there for Alex Jones. Let's listen in here live on Live Now from Fox.
Trial like this, and we very, very, very much look forward to an appeal. The jurors heard that Mr. Jones was responsible for the creation of all the craziness that affected the Sandy Hook world and the Sandy Hook parents. You and I, we all know better. Why the jury was permitted to make a decision based on an incomplete record is a mystery to us, and it's a mystery that we will address in the appellate court. From my perspective, this is as dark and disturbing an experience in court as I have had in a professional lifetime, and that includes cases involving the death of children and the murder of spouses. So we look forward to our prospects on appeal. I congratulate the folks at Koskoff and Beater. My heart goes out to the families. We live in divided times. They've been weaponized and used for political purposes in this country, in my view. And today is a very, very, very dark day for freedom of speech. Thank you.
What did you expect?